So maybe we'll give the attendees 2 minutes more to join, and then I'll start.
Okay, I'm seeing about 9 attendees. Someone, Hassan, you've raised your hand. You want to say something? Go ahead. You can talk. I think I've allowed you to talk, Hassan.
Yes, it's just to say hello.
Sorry, Stephen. So the attendees in this webinar are
Hi, I'm Hassan. No problem. Thank you very much for coming in.
And thank you very much for joining us, despite of all the headaches in Nairobi.
And the cold today is a little bit.
Yes, Perez, yeah.
Yeah, hello, Dr. Mishinda, Diana.
How are you? Yes.
Yeah, we're fine, thank you. So maybe we can start now, and the rest will join us. I believe this is being recorded. Diana, is it okay if we start now? Or should we wait a bit? Or the colleague from DOT?
yeah, sure. Feel free to start whenever you're ready.
Okay. Yeah, so my name is Perez Ware. I'm Executive Director of the Next Step Foundation. And the foundation is really focused around using the power of technology to upskill youth and persons from disadvantaged communities, especially persons with disability, with technology skills, to enable them to participate in the global digital economy. And I'm joined here by Maureen Chebet from Safaricom. She'll introduce herself, and then Steve will introduce himself.
Thank you, Perez and Slim, for having us today. My name is Maureen Chebet. I'm a cloud engineer at Safaricom, and I'm really looking forward to our engagement today and share what we have and the lessons ahead of us. Thank you.
Thanks, Maureen, for that. My name is Steven Kimani. I'm the lead trainer at Zalego Academy. Thanks for having us here today. Talk about what we can do and how we can do it. And I appreciate your time through the so welcome to this channel. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Steve and Maureen. And then we also have Lucas Shemu from Jobs Tanzania, who is quite heavily involved in the microwork space. So Lucas, you can introduce yourself.
Thank you very much. I hope you can hear me.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much for me to be part of this panel of distinguished speakers. My name is Lucas Shem. I operation for Jobs Tanzania. In Tanzania, we were heavily involved in the project, which had a scope of training 100 young people in Tanga City around digital marketing, freelancing, and how they can use such skills in exploring the global digital jobs opportunities. The project was very successful. As we go along this summit, I'll be sharing the experiences that we encountered, deliverables, different challenges, and the success of the project itself, and how that probably we can see the opportunity for it to scale out in reaching more young people. So once again, I'm glad to be part of this. Sorry for joining a little bit late, I think 3 minutes to the time, and I'm looking forward to a successful summit. Thank you.
And thank you, Lucas. Thanks for that introduction. And in fact, that's a good segue to really get into the discussion, which I would really like us to start with you, telling us all about what is micro work, what are the opportunities that are there, how can the young people in Tanzania participate, what platforms are there, how do you get paid from a customer in the US, in Europe, and also just talk about a bit about your project in Tanga and what was achieved there. So I'll just let you feel free to talk, and then we shall ask questions after. And I know most of our participants are in Tanzania, so please feel free to talk in Swahili. All of us are conversant in Swahili. We may not talk it well, but we can hear, listen, and understand it well. So please just feel free to share with our participants all about micro work. And then Maureen and Steve are going to give their stories on about their journey to where they are now with the skills in cloud computing and what opportunities are there for the youth. So over to you, Lucas.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity. Basically, what I'm going to share will be around this Tanga Youth Digital Skills for Employment. Like you've just said, the opportunity which are there in, I would say, digital jobs, some call it micro jobs because they are small piece of work that someone can do and get paid irrespective of where the clients are coming from. Like you said, I will be using both Swahili and English because most of the participants you said are in Tanzania. So yeah, basically, simply speaking, micro jobs, these are any assignment that a skilled person, in this case, a digital skilled person, can do and get paid. For example, if let's say someone reach out to a skilled person and is looking for, let's say, he's looking for someone who can like design, let's say, a logo. This is a micro job. It can be a person, can be a corporate organization, or even a huge organization that's looked. So this skilled person who is trained and has gained skills in creative design can use existing tools. Thanks to the internet, these tools can be tools like Canva, which is a tool on the internet where you can like use different templates depending on the requirements of the clients and be able to develop or to design a logo that has been asked. So that is an example, one example. Another example could be someone looking for a website. This is, I will say, this is a bit high end. It requires someone with a strong knowledge in web development and design. Also, someone can come out to you. He may be he's looking to have his, let's say, his CV or application letter crafted. Somebody can also come to you. He's looking maybe to have an online presence, so he can come to you. Hey, I wanna get a social. I wanna be on social media on top of the website that I have. Someone can come to you looking for content creation. I have a blog, I have a website, I have a social media platform. You need content. So there are so many skills that provide an opportunity in what we call digital jobs, or in this case, micro jobs. And as far as I will link this with, just to give you a broad perspective, I will link this with the Tanga Project. Tanga Project, basically, it was an intensive, a 6-month intensive training that targeted 100 young people in Tanga region. We break the session into 2 sessions. There was 3 weeks of physical training, where we training the young people. Initially, we have to get their mindset right, because you know, it's very difficult for someone to believe that you can actually be able to save a client in the US while you're here, because most people, they believe like this part of the world, people are not skilled enough to be able to save a client in the Western world. So we have to take them through a mindset change training. Then after that, this was very interesting, because then this opened eyes to our 100 participants. And then we took them now into like a skills-based training, where we train them on freelancing, and then we further train them on digital marketing skills. Then we train them now. Once they have these skills, they will establish business as an individual. This means you are a freelancer, or if you like create a company, then you will have a company, then you need to grow your business as a freelancer or as a company. So we also further training them on how to start and grow their business online, and how can they link with clients in their area or on the internet elsewhere. After that, then we also train them on how to like now use this, where can they get this digital jobs or micro jobs. So we train them on different freelancing platform. The focus was mainly on LinkedIn, because this is a professional network. It's very easy to connect with individual customers and also different. And the platform that we used, and which has proven to be successful in Tanzania specifically, is Upwork. There are so many freelancing platforms. So as part of like practical training of all the training materials that we covered, we further took them on one-on-one to make sure everybody understands the opportunity that are offered on these freelancing platforms such as Upwork. They were able to create their profiles. They are able to link their profile with the different payment options. Unfortunately, in Tanzania, the only feasible option was through a direct bank transfer. So, and that is used a Pioneer as a payment gateway. And we took them to understand how they can take requirements from different clients. Let's say you are a creative designer. How can you search around and find micro jobs around, let's say, creating logos, different logos for different businesses or individuals. Then after that, we train them. It was a hands-on training on how to like apply for such jobs and how to like try to charge those customers, whether it's there are two different ways where you can scope down the work that you're going to deliver. So we they can either charge you hourly based or a fixed contract, where let's say you are delivering 5 logos for a lump sum, let's say $200. After that, then everyone was able to create an account with this payment platform, Pioneer. And as part of the training, Job Tanzania, along with our implementing partner, main implementing partner, Swahili Digital, we also created different jobs so that they can be able to see how it works. So we created different jobs around logo creation, Swahili translation, because this is a very good opportunity, especially for the young people in a Swahili-speaking part of the world, in East Africa, Kenya and Tanzania specifically. So they were able to apply for such jobs. We were able to assess them and be able to select those who really shown that they have the skills to do it, and then they did it. Then we paid them so that they were able to see from the beginning, when you apply for it, you search for a job, you apply for it, you do it, you get paid, and then how you can transfer your money through Pioneer payment platform into your respective bank account. Some of the challenges, some of the young people did not have a bank account, but nowadays, thanks to the technology, they were able on the next day to be able to open the bank account, which they can link with this Pioneer payment platform into Upwork. After that 3 months of intensive training, which covers the skills gap, for them to gain the knowledge, then how to find clients using different online platforms, and what are the most typical skills that these people can start, like logo creation or English to Swahili translation or content creation, jobs or micro jobs. Then the following, I would say,
Lucas,
4 to 6 weeks.
Sorry to interrupt you, Lucas.
Yes.
Thank you. You're getting into a very interesting part about how to get these jobs, and I wanted you just to explain it in Swahili, so that our members do not miss out on that very important piece.
Okay. Jinsi ya kupata kazi kwa urahisi zaidi ni kwamba kwanza unahitaji ujuzi. Ujuzi unaweza kuwa kuna wateja wengi sana wanahitaji kutengenezewa logo, wateja binafsi au makampuni yanayokuzunguka, kwa sababu tuliwaambia kwamba first you have to look for clients around you because it's easy to connect with. Ni rahisi sana kupata mteja aliyoko jirani. Kwa mfano pale jiji kuna waliokuwa na uhitaji, makampuni yaliyoko pale Tanga walikuwa wakihitaji huduma hizi. Baada ya kujua hizo opportunity, pia platform kama Upwork, pia siku hizi makampuni mengi hasa Ulaya na Marekani yakiwa na hizi kazi ndogo ndogo ambazo tunaziita macro jobs, wanachofanya wanatangaza hizi kazi kupitia platform, freelancing platform, au tuseme ni mtandao wa kuuza ujuzi, wa kuuza na kununua ujuzi. Kwa hiyo mteja alisema mimi ni mteja nahitaji logo ya Job Tanzania. Of course the Job Tanzania's logo was designed by one of our students from our class, was redesigned by one of the students from our class, and tuliipenda na tukaitumia. Kwa hiyo ukienda www.jobtanzania.co.tz, I will share it in a chat. Mnaweza kuona hiyo logo ambayo ni matunda ya darasa letu hili la Tanga Digital Youth for Employment Training. Kwa hiyo ukisha weza kuconnect na hawa wateja kwa kutumia hii freelancing platform kwa ujuzi mbalimbali, na ujuzi ambao unauzika sana na una wateja wengi. Unajua Kiswahili kinakuwa, kwa hiyo watu wengi wana uhitaji wa tuseme wa kutafsiri makala mbalimbali, vitabu, hata makala za kwenye video, kwenye TV. Kuna opportunity nyingi sana wanataka kutafsiri kwa Kiswahili. Kwa hiyo kulikuwa na hii ni ambayo kila mwanafunzi aliyetengeneza profile yake kwenye hii freelancing platform, ujuzi wa kwanza alioweka ambao angekuwa tayari kuuza ni wa kutafsiri kutoka kwenye Kiswahili kwenda kwenye Kiingereza, kwa sababu hizi ni lugha ambazo at least Watanzania, Kiswahili ni mother tongue, Kiingereza ni lugha ambayo kwa sababu wale wote tulio wachagua katika program hii, at least tuliangalia at least amemaliza form 6 au at least amemaliza form 4, lakini mwenye passion ya ujuzi wa mambo ya tehama, teknolojia ya habari na mawasiliano. Kwa hiyo baada ya kuwafungulia account kwenye hii freelancing platform ya Upwork, ziko nyingi, kuna nyingine inaitwa Fiverr, lakini tu prefer Upwork kwa sababu Upwork unakutana na mteja moja kwa moja, wakati Fiverr ni wewe unaweka ile ujuzi ulionao, alafu mteja yeye akiwa na kazi anaweza kutafuta. Tukawafundisha pia na namna gani ya kuapply hizi kazi na namna gani ya kudili na mteja, yani kuangalia kuwa na right mindset, kwa sababu pia wateja wengi wako nje au wako hata nje ya Tanga, labda wako Dar es Salaam. Sasa kuna tool, tukawafundisha pia tools mbalimbali. Kwa mfano tools tunayoitumia hapa ya Zoom, kwamba mteja atakapokuona ametangaza kazi, wewe umeona unaipenda, labda ya kutafsiri kutoka kwenye Kiswahili kwenda kwenye Kiingereza makala yake, labda ile chapisho lilopo kwenye tovuti, au ni chapisho la kitabu, au ni makala ya video au ya audio, unatakiwa kumfanyia tafsiri, maana kuna translation na transcription, ambao kwa Kiswahili vyote vinaitwa ni kutafsiri. So ukishaona hiyo, tukawafundisha namna gani ya kutuma maombi. Of course kutakuwa na freelancer sehemu nyingine, kwa mfano kwenye hizi English to Swahili au Swahili to English translation and transcription jobs, pia wenzetu wa Kenya wako mbele, walishaanza kuzifanyia kazi, kwa sababu freelancing upande wa Kenya na jinsi gani ya kupata hizi kazi ndogo ndogo za mtandaoni, Kenya walikuwa wako mbele zaidi, na hata ukiangalia Kenya wana freelancer wengi kuliko Tanzania. Kwa hiyo utakuta mnashindanishwa na watu wa ujuzi mbalimbali, anaweza akachagua labda 2 3, atawafanyia interview of course. Mnaweza mkachat au atakupigia video call au audio call kwa kutumia tools kama Google Meet au hii Zoom, and then akiridhika kwamba wewe una ujuzi baada ya kuwa trained na kupractice, anakupatia hiyo kazi. Sasa atakupatia kazi, inabidi mkubaliane kwamba kazi, je, utaifanya kwa masaa, let's say ni makala ya labda peji 3 kwenye website, utaweza kufanya labda masaa 5 kutafsiri na kuweza kupata ile kazi ya mwisho aweze yeye kuipost kwa labda wateja wake, labda ni mtu anayetaka labda labda anafundisha, au labda ni yuko labda Kongo ambao wanaongea Kiswahili, kwa hiyo ana makala ya Kiingereza anataka kupeleka kule, au Rwanda au hata Tanzania huku. Kwa hiyo baada ya kufika stage hiyo, ina maana mtakubaliana. Kwa hiyo unaweza ukalipa kwa masaa, au mtakubaliana kwamba hii kazi yako mimi nitaifanya kwa pesa taslimu kiasi fulani. Kwa hiyo pia tuliwafundisha. Sasa ukishafanya ile kazi basically uzuri wa platform kama Upwork, inakuwa kuna kitu inaita usalama wa anayetoa ujuzi na anayepokea huduma. Yule anayepokea huduma akitangaza kazi, let's say anatakiwa kutengenezewa let's say tafsiriwa makala ya peji 3 kwa masaa 4, na kila saa inatafsiriwa labda kwa shilingi 50,000, maana yake ni shilingi 200,000. Kwa hiyo lazima ile kazi, ili watu wa ujuzi waweze kuchukua, lazima atengeneze offer, aweke kitu inaitwa deposit ya hela ya thamani ya huo mkataba. Kiweka ile hela, inakaa kwenye kitu kinaitwa escrow, yani ni hela ya usalama, ni account ya usalama ya platform hii ya Upwork, kusudi kwamba wewe ukipewa hiyo kazi kama freelancer, maana yake ukifanya ile kazi ukija kuimaliza utalipwa. Sasa ikitokea kama kuna dispute, wale Upwork wanaweza wakaangalia and then ile hela inakuwa. Kwa hiyo unakuwa na uhakika kwamba ujuzi unaenda kutoa, kwa sababu pia imetokea watu wengine anaweza akapewa kazi alafu akamwambia ngoja tufanye nje ya platform. Ukifanya nje ya platform maana yake hakuna usalama. Unaweza kufanya kazi na mtu akaona kazi akasema sijaipenda, kumbe ni kazi umeifanya vizuri, halafu ukashangaa ukapoteza. Sasa ili uwe na usalama ni kwamba ni vizuri kutumia hizi freelancing platform, kwa sababu hela yako, yani jasho lako, your efforts is going to be rewarded kama makubaliano yalivyokuwa. Kwa hiyo kuna kuwepo na mkataba kwamba utafanya kazi hii kwa gharama hii kwa kipindi hiki. Ukishafanya, ukishadeliver, ameridhika, basi ata release payment. Kwa hiyo hela itatoka kwenye ile account ya usalama ya Upwork, itakuja kwenye wallet yako ya Upwork, kwa sababu ukishatengeneza unakuwa na account pia ndani ambayo inawezeshwa kwa payment gateway au platform ya malipo inaitwa Pioneer. Pioneer ni kama vile M-Pesa ama Airtel Money lakini katika global scale. Sasa wale utakachofanya, utaituma ile hela, itatoka kwenye wallet yako. Let's say umepewa $200, itaenda kwenye wallet ya Pioneer ambayo ni online mobile wallet. Then from there sasa wale ndio unaweza ukaituma direct kwenye benki yako, ka transfer kwenye benki CRDB, Bank of Africa, any bank that you have, NMB, NBC. Sasa wenzetu wa Kenya wako mbele, wamefanya na M-Pesa. I'm sure Tanzania pia nadhani kuna wadau mbalimbali hapa wa teknolojia. Hiyo ni fursa kwamba Tanzania pia kama Kenya wameweza, basi hata Tanzania pia tunaweza, kwa sababu pia tunatumia M-Pesa. Kwa hiyo ile hela inafika kwako. Normally payment kutoka kwenye your Upwork wallet kwenda kwenye Pioneer ni instant, lakini kutoka kwenye Pioneer kwenda kwenye bank it takes 1 to 3 days maximum, hela inakuwa imefika kwako. Kwa hiyo unakuwa umelipa, unakushalipwa, yule mteja atakuandikia review ili kukuongezea nafasi ya wewe wateja kukuona, kwa sababu kitu ambacho tumekiona kwamba na tulichukua tunakisisitiza ni kwamba ile proof of work, kwamba ulishafanya kazi. Unaweza kuwa na ujuzi lakini hujawahi kufanya kazi, au huna capability, huna uwezo wa kufanya kazi. Sasa ukishafanya na umedeliver kwa mteja, na hata kama ni mteja ambaye umefanyia kazi ni hapo hapo Tanga au ni Dar es Salaam au ni Tanzania popote, kuna namna. Kwa mfano uzuri wa Upwork wamelink na platform kama ya LinkedIn, kwamba ukifanya kazi hata kama ni nje ya Upwork, yani mmekubaliana kikawaida, then utamwambia yule kama ana LinkedIn account ambayo iko linked na Upwork aweze kukuandikia review. Hii itakuongezea fursa ya kupata wateja wengine wanaokuja. Kwa hiyo kwa kifupi, nadhani baadaye kama tunavyoendelea sasa nitashare jinsi gani mradi huu matarajio ya mradi, changamoto tulizozipata na jinsi ambavyo umefanikiwa, na ulifanikiwa kwa kiwango kikubwa sana kwa sababu vijana waliiva, na uzuri pia tulitengeneza other channel WhatsApp group ambapo pale tunaendelea kuwa coach, kwamba wakiwa na swali wanauliza, amepata mteja amesema na hapa vipi, how can I approach this na nini, au anaweza kawa amepata yeye hana ujuzi ambao let's say ameambiwa amepata mteja anatakiwa amtengenezee content kwenye website, lakini mteja pia anahitaji na website. So Upwork inaweza kupa fursa pia, kama wewe huna ujuzi unaweza ukarefer to your others. So waliweza kurefer to each other. Pia tulikuwa na watu ambao wana ujuzi, special ujuzi, kwa mfano ile wanaita Tanzania Signs Language. Tulikuwa na walimu wawili wenye ujuzi huo, na pia waliweza kuconnect na wateja kuwasaidia, kwa sababu hawa ni walimu wenye ujuzi wa kuwafundisha watu wenye ulemavu wa kusikia. Kwa hiyo kwa kweli ilikuwa ni a very interesting project, pamoja na changamoto ndogo ndogo, lakini tulifanikiwa kiasi kikubwa, na kama nilivyosema nitaendelea kadiri nitakapopewa fursa kushare sasa ile actual numbers ya kuonyesha wangapi walihudhuria, kazi ngapi zilitengenezwa, wangapi waliweza kupata kazi za thamani kiasi gani, na darasa la mwisho kabisa waliohitimu walifikia kiasi gani. Cha kumalizia pia, baada ya kufanya ile madarasa yale tuliyofanya kwa wiki 3 pale Tanga, tulifanya sasa program ya wiki 6 kwenye Zoom. Na kwa nini tuliselect Zoom? Kwa sababu Zoom ndio tool ambayo inatumika kwa sababu unauza ujuzi nje, unauza ujuzi Marekani, unauza ujuzi Canada, UK, Australia and elsewhere, hata Kenya au nchi zingine za Afrika. Kwa hiyo tukasema tutumie Zoom ili waweze kuona ni namna gani kwanza wajifunze, kwa sababu kuna session zingine zile advanced session za mafunzo kama ya digital marketing, ya freelancing with Upworks, how to jinsi gani ya kutengeneza profile kwenye online professional network kama LinkedIn. Kwa hiyo tukawafundisha na namna ya kushare screen, namna ya kurekodi video as you are solving a problem, au unapokuwa unajaribu kuchukua requirement kutoka kwa mteja wako. Tukatumia Zoom. Kwa hiyo tukafanya Zoom session ambazo zilikuwa successful, ingawa pia nanyo kulikuwa na changamoto, kwa sababu wengine unakuta anasema labda hana bando, muda mwingine sio rafiki, kwa sababu mwingine anasema mimi nataka asubuhi, mwingine wanafanya kazi, wengine pia atasema nataka awe jioni, mwingine anataka weekend. Kwa hiyo na sisi tukaona changamoto mbalimbali ambapo ziliwafanya wenyewe wakaiva zaidi, kwa sababu wakawa wanatumia hii, kwa sababu inakuwa ndio kama tool ya kufanya mawasiliano na mteja wao, kuanzia unapo apply kazi, anapofanya interview, unapo deliver kazi yenyewe, na mpaka unapokuwa umelipwa. Nadhani nisiongee sana kwa sababu naweza nikawaacha watu. Nadhani niishie hapo, labda kama kutakuwa na maswali au tuendelee kwa topic zingine, na nitakuwa kadiri nitakavyohitajika nitaendelea kushare zaidi sasa, ambapo ni kwa numbers na data, na nitakuwa tayari pia kujibu maswali. Asante.
Wow, asante sana Lucas. That was so interesting, and I'm sure the youth have managed to pick up quite a bit from what you said. The opportunities in the world of micro work and digital work are really immense, and one can be able to start as soon as now. Some of the jobs can even be done over the phone, like if you have a smartphone, like the data annotation, data labeling type of work. There are those platforms which youth can be able to access over the phone as well. So it will be interesting to learn from you later about what type of jobs these youth got, how were types of, how much were they earning, what challenges that they faced, so that the youth in this session can also be prepared. So thank you very, very much for that. I think I'll go to Stephen first before Chebet. I would like Stephen to give an overview of Amazon Web Services. We have, Lucas has just given us an overview about micro work. And we also want to share with you about opportunities in the cloud, because the world is going digital. We are talking about the future of work. And if you look at a lot of the analysis that has been done by global research firms, the top jobs in demand between now and 2030 are all in technology. Number one is cloud computing. The global demand for cloud computing is huge, and there's a huge deficit of millions of cloud computing workers. These are opportunities you can take advantage of and start working very, very quickly. And these are sustainable jobs which you can earn a decent income, work with global top corporations, even from wherever you are in the world. The issue of migrating to different countries nowadays is almost non-existent, because technology has made it possible for you to sit in Africa while serving a client in the US, in Europe, that kind of thing. So we also want to expose you to the other opportunities that are available in the high-end technology, and how can you get into that space. So I will hand over to Steve Kimani. He will tell us more about Amazon Web Services. He's the lead trainer for Zalego Academy. Steve, you can share about what is AWS, just a quick overview. What opportunities are there in cloud computing, and also give, I think it would be nice if you could share your story, where you came from to where you are now, because that is really powerful. We want the youth to know that this is possible. They can also get into this space. Steve has trained AWS clients all over the world, the US, Spain, Europe, South Africa. He has done it all. And he's one of only 4 certified AWS instructors in Kenya. So you are getting to hear from the best of the best. Over to you, Steve.
Thank you so much for that introduction, Perez. Let me start a little bit from where I started. I was I went off the video to get something to drink, because I know this will be probably a longer conversation. In the sense that where I come, for me, I was born and raised in the slums. I was in Tanga, but I never saw any slums. Sijui wako nini, sijui Tanga kama kuna slum. Okay, so
na project yenyewe.
Lucas, you're saying something?
No, sorry, let me mute.
Okay, go ahead. So no problem. Okay, so so being raised and being born and raised in the slum is one of the greatest challenge that you can ever face. So that one cannot deter someone from meeting your dreams and doing something here and there. So when I joined, previously I used to have my own business, and over the years, things went the way they went, and I joined an organization called Digital Divide Data. That's where we met Perez and also Maureen, and I used to work as a data entry. Used to go data entry operators. So to that extent, I was more into technology. But before that, I used to work as a midwife assistant. So many people find it very weird that for 3 years, I used to help doctors deliver babies for 3 years. And this is like a passion that you get. When you get to know something, you want to do something, you do it with a passion. So when you put your head into it, when you because I wanted to see how can I help a woman in pain? So I just wanted to understand how the whole process works. So for 3 years, I've been working as an assistant, but that was a previous times 10 years ago. So when I joined my previous company, as I said, I used to work as a data entry operator, and worked there for a couple of years until 2016. That's when AWS was introduced to us. So at some point, we thought that AWS was only meant for huge operations, also for like high-end people with masters or people with degrees and stuff like that. But then it took us a very short period of time to learn from scratch to get certified. Now, what is AWS? So most of us know Amazon as the e-commerce, all right? So there's an e-commerce bit of it, and then there's a web services bit of it. So we are not talking about the e-commerce where you go online and buy stuff. We are not talking about that. We are not talking about Amazon.com. We are talking about Amazon Web Services, because those are two different entities, but owned by the same person. So it's a platform where you can say you using software as a service. I know if you're inside digital skill, you may have ever had something like software as a service, where you are using let me say applications. But let's say, for example, Lucas mentioned something about digital skilling. And one of the things that we usually mention is that when I explain about software as a service, what does that really mean in terms of dealing with individuals, right? So that means, let's say Google platform, Google Drive, for those guys who are having Gmail. So Gmail is a software as a service, but where is it hosted? Facebook. We all know that you do a lot of selling on Facebook, but where are these data stored? And that's where AWS comes in. So all this data is stored somewhere. So the web services bit of it, or Amazon Web Services, is now dealing with management of those services. So management in the sense that if you are, let's say you have your blog, and let's say for those guys who comes from Tanga, we know Mkonge, right? Let's say Makonge. So we have that organization for Makonge, and wanataka kupeleka vitu zao kwenye mitandao, ama twende manispaa la jiji, wanataka make sure that unapotaka kujiandikisha ama kuregister biashara yako, unaenda kwenye mitandao. So akina nani hao wanaotengeneza, wanaoangalia, wanao maintain ile mitandao, ndio kwamba wewe uingie pale kwenye ule mitandao, ama kusema unataka kuapply visa, unaenda kwa mtandao kwenye Tanzania.ac.tz, unaingia kwenye ule mtandao, unafanya nini? Una apply visa yako. So kwa hiyo nani wanaopata au wanaofanya hiyo mitandao ikawa pale ilipo. So hapo ndio AWS Web Services inaingilia ku make sure that huo mtandao, kama ni Facebook, kama ni wa Tanzania kuapply visa, ama kuna ule mtandao wa kuangalia namba za NIDA, right? Kazi ya AWS ni kujua wewe kama a cloud engineer. For example, we have Maureen, who is a cloud engineer. She will talk about what is cloud engineering. So how then do we manage all these services? So that's when I started now talking about cloud engineering job. We did a couple of years, but I decided that I want to share my knowledge with others. That's when I joined the training sessions. So training has given me a lot of opportunities. I've traveled, seriously traveled, and I've trained so many people from different backgrounds. So that really means that I am a trainer just because I wanted to be a trainer. It is a vigorous process, it's a hard process, and it requires a lot of sacrifice. It is a lot of commitment, because there are a couple of certificates you have to pass, right? Not just saying, for those who are, I'm not sure how many people were in Tanga here. I'm not seeing anyone who I know was from Tanga, the time I was there, but there are steps that are required, that are put in place to make sure that every single step is geared towards something. So there are those guys who we did cloud practitioners with in May, June, and July. And I told them, if you're in my class, I told you, I didn't fail to mention that is the beginning. So what kind of jobs can you get with that specific certification? I explained in detail of what is the next step, or what am I going to do next? Because, for instance, we started with cloud practitioner, and then we said, we are going to go to the next level. But in the meantime, what can you do with that information or with that certificate that you got for those guys who sit for the exam, right? So what are the jobs can I get using that certificate? Now, for this time, I will go back to Mr. Lucas when he was talking about Upwork, and you've already done some digital skillings and you're able to do probably data entry jobs from Upwork. If you add now a certificate, let's say I'm a cloud practitioner, then you start now adding value to your profile, meaning chances of you getting, if you're doing, you're using your connects, they call them, if I'm not wrong, connects. If you're using connects to apply for a job, then your chances of you getting a job increases. So as you gain more experience, things change based on the job that you're doing. So as a cloud practitioner, what kind of jobs can you do? Now, different people have different things that they want to do in life. We have software developers, we have system administrators, we have security administrators, we have network administrators, we have database administrators. So depending on what do you want to do, every certificate is geared towards a specific goal. If you're more on in crunching of numbers, kama ni mtu wa kufanya research, unataka kujua numbers inakaa vipi, for example, unapoangalia juzi sisi tulimaliza uchaguzi wetu, ama on 23rd of this month Tanzania itakuwa inaenda kwenye nini, kwenye census. Now kama ni unataka kujua hii census itakuwa nini, numbers inakaa vipi, so that is we can automate all those processes using something like machine learning, and that is a path that you as an individual, you can go back and tell Tanzania, hey, I have this application that I created using AWS. And what it does is it tries to automate the population based on their probably tribe, based on their age, based on their sex, depending on how you're doing. So it doesn't mean that you want to start big. Everyone, they say, safari ndefu huanza na with one step, right? A long journey starts with a single step. So you have gone through the process. Doesn't mean you can now start hitting big. If you hit big, then that's good. But then it all starts from somewhere. So I was talking about what kind of opportunities can you start? Now, it depends on what your career path looks like. Let me start from system administrators. So who is a system administrator? So system administrator, those are the people who manages the application itself. These are the people who says, if something goes wrong, they know where to fix it. If there's something happening within the application, they know where to go and fix them. And those are the, to my experience, that certificate currently has become a hard certificate to attain because of its practicality. And once you get that certificate called System Administrator's Certificate, then you become more of acquainted towards systems management. Okay, so on a lower level, because that is on a separate level. So who is a cloud engineer, on what can they do? And I think that's where Maureen will come in. So there is a huge market across the globe. And I will be honest that in Tanzania and in Kenya, so to say, or in Eastern Central Africa, we may not have those type of jobs that we can look for or that we can admire. Most of these jobs are overseas. And there's a huge demand for cloud engineers, huge demand in cloud engineering jobs. And you don't have to start big. I think with Lucas here, there's a way that maybe, let's say, what would be the thing that I want to do in terms of cloud engineering? What are some of the aspects? What are some of the experience do I need? Certifications do I need for you to become a cloud engineer? Opportunities, some organization, they say that you may have the paper, but you don't have the hands-on, okay? But then you can have the hands-on without the certificate. So it depends on the way the organization looks at things. Do they look at the papers, or do they look at the hands-on? So to some extent, hands-on becomes a more lucrative as compared to the papers. If you and Lucas mentioned about Upwork. So Upwork is somewhere you can build your profile from ground up, and it's a very, very lucrative area where people are getting jobs and in terms of freelancing. Now, someone will ask, okay, I've been a freelancer for the last, let's say, 5 years. How do I quantify that I know a specific product, or I know how to work the specific product? Because employers will try to find out, yes, you have your CV ready, but then in the last 5 years, you've been working as a freelancer in Upwork, because you understand the value, you understand the kind of income that you're getting from Upwork. The question is, how then can you quantify that you've been a specific product? Because cloud engineering is all about knowing to work with specific products. You may want to work, let's say, with let's say something like Jira or something. How do you tell a client, or how do you tell someone, how can you prove to someone that you know how to use a specific product if you get an opportunity to work? Because you'll be going to pitch to send quotes saying, hey, I want to become, I have a cloud engineer certificate. How do I get this job? And then you approach a job, and someone will have an interview and say, okay, which product have you worked with? Now, in this case, they are not asking for the papers. They are asking what type of hands-on experience do you have? So this is where now a lot of practice, and there's a lot of huge free practices that you can go online. You look for them online, you can get all these free access. So who then becomes your target market? As I said earlier on, it's in Tanzania as compared to Kenya. It seems like Tanzania is a little bit, in terms of technology, I would say very behind, but Kenya is ahead of Tanzania. So here in Kenya, we feel that, hey, we don't have that opportunities locally. So where these opportunities are overseas. So how then do you place yourself into the global market? By attaining specific certificates for global market. And that's where now LinkedIn comes in. So there, if you look at LinkedIn, there was a time I did a script to scrap all jobs with the word cloud engineering jobs, and there are like thousands of those jobs on LinkedIn alone. Leave alone other services like Glassdoor or any other platforms. On LinkedIn alone, if you just search the word cloud engineer without specifying any country, you'll be amazed by the kind of people are looking for cloud engineers. Go to Upwork. You're familiar with Upwork. Go to Upwork, just type there cloud engineer or AWS cloud engineer, and you tell me how many positions will you going to see. So it's one of the it's a very lucrative area that it's currently moving on. As Peres said, that there's a very huge demand. I remember a couple of years ago, AWS in South Africa came to Kenya to look for cloud engineers. In Kenya, to look for cloud engineers, because there's a huge deficit for cloud engineers. The jobs are already there, and this doubled up later on because of COVID, because so many people are still on their old system. And when COVID hit, they said there'll be no going to the office. Then everything shifted to working remotely. That changed a lot, and the demand almost doubled because of that working from home. So opportunities are there, and they are limitless. No one, you only say sky is the limit, but nowadays sky is not the limit because people are going to space, right? So sky is not the limit. So it's limitless depending on what is the attitude that you have, what's your goal in life, and what are you aiming? Because you might ask yourself, in the next 5 years, what do I want to do? Because if you're staying at home, and I remember when I was in Tanga, someone mentioned that their laptops is for watching movies. I was like, oh, okay. So we give that particular person a reason to change that perspective. Like, yes, you it's so weird that someone can watch a whole series from 8 to the following day, 24 hours without falling asleep, but you give them a 2-hour tutorial, 2 hours, they'll fall asleep in the next 30 minutes, right? So you only need just to have a quick mindset of, hey, I want to in the next 1 week, because 1 week is too long if you're doing if you're serious. I want 1 week, I'll be done with a specific product. If you have to go with cloud opportunities and cloud services, you give yourself 1 week. You have no idea how much you can attain within that 1 week. So I hope I've talked a lot, but very short. Hope Perez, I've covered most of the things that I was to cover.
Yeah, thank you very much for that introduction, Kimani. I think the participants should have picked from there that the opportunities in cloud computing are really, really immense. There is a global shortage of cloud engineers. And the program which we are delivering currently is the Amazon Web Services. There are various cloud platforms. There's Microsoft Azure, there's Google, but it's generally recognized that AWS has the largest market share of cloud computing globally, and they're making a very big push into Africa. A lot of governments and organizations and nonprofits, corporations using the cloud, the AWS cloud computing. Safaricom, which all of you know, and the M-Pesa sits on the AWS platform. And today we are very privileged to have here Maureen Chebet, who is a cloud engineer with Safaricom PLC. She's managing, she's one of the cloud engineers that are supporting the M-Pesa platform. And her key focus is on enabling migration of products into the cloud and delivering comprehensive cloud solutions to customers. Maureen is also a Young Africa Leaders Initiative Fellow and Emerging Leaders Foundation alumni. She holds a Bachelor of Information Technology degree from Kenyatta University. So we're really, really excited to have you here, Maureen. You can share with us, and please feel free to share about your journey as a woman in tech, your journey into this cloud computing space, where it all began. And you're working for one of the biggest brands in Africa. We're really excited to have you here. So I'll hand it over to you now.
Wow, thank you, Fede, for that intro. You'll allow me to use English. Yeah, so thank you for this opportunity to share my cloud journey and the learning that I have picked along the way. as Perez have said, I'm currently a cloud engineer at Safaricom, Kenya, where I enable customers to migrate products to the cloud, establish a secure cloud environment for them, and also help optimize the costs in the cloud. So one of the key items that we look at is, before then migrating to the cloud, we need to analyze the best solution for what scenario that you are going to dive into. Code is
Maureen,
the
could you
next
raise your
universal
voice?
language.
You're not very audible. You can increase your volume.
Okay, is that, am I audible now?
That's a bit better.
Just a minute. The rest, am I up now? Awesome. Okay, okay. So as I was saying,
We can hear you.
Okay, awesome. As I was saying, I'm currently a cloud engineer at Safaricom Kenya, where I enable customers to migrate their products to the cloud, ensure that the costs are managed, so we don't have to use a lot of cost when there are idle resources that are not being consumed in the cloud. So, and the key item that we look even before doing the migration is to analyze the best solution to bring to the customers. Code is the next universal language, and I really want to become a voice of comfort, encouragement, as we are living in crazy times. Tech is growing rapidly, and there is not enough talent to fill the need, especially being a female in the environment. My transition into the cloud began 5 years ago. It was a leap of faith. I was in my second year doing my bachelor's, and I was working at the same time. And cloud computing was this hot trend, sparkling, and I didn't know it would become part of me. My then employer had collaborated with AWS to train the underserved and disadvantaged young people on cloud competencies and skills. I was actually with Kimani, Steve, in the same academy, where we were taken through a very intense 5 months training on the core components of cloud, operating systems, computing, security. We had databases. At the time, these terms were very, very, very hot. I didn't understand, but as we progressed, we finally got certified, and I believe my cohort was the first in Kenya to attain the AWS certification. The academy was then recognized in December 2017 at the reInvent conference, which normally happen in Las Vegas. For me, it was an opportunity to travel abroad for the first time. I didn't have a degree by then. I was just a village girl who just got a opportunity, and I met with amazing people, talented man, and again, there are few female in that area. And indeed, what happens in Vegas becomes code. After this delightful event, I realized I wanted more than that. Getting a certification for me was not enough. I looked up for resources online. I was on Reddit. I joined online communities and even attended virtual sessions and webinars. And with all this, it's broadened my level of exposure in the cloud. It's really also solidified my understanding of the cloud. As days went by, I also wanted to get my hands dirty. I started working on tasks that needed to be deployed in the cloud, whether it was automating a task, whether it was developing a website. I really wanted to understand what happens really in this universe of cloud. At the time, I knew exactly what I wanted, and then I focused on that, and that was the cloud. And so basically, I started looking for roles that will help me in that aspect. I went ahead and cleaned up my LinkedIn, which blew off. At the time, getting an AWS certification was huge. It was, I can't even explain, because if you have it on your profile, you are a hotcake at that time. And leveraging LinkedIn, it was something that I couldn't understand why people would choose to hang out on Facebook more than LinkedIn, because it's like the other social platform, but for professionals. So I spend most of my time there, checking out job boards that fit my skills. I also looked at different job listings from remote.io. I looked at Upwork, Fiverr. Kimani mentioned Upwork. That was the famous platform at the time. I'm sharing my story to encourage the young, the youth, the people who want to transition to the cloud. Because if you are switching careers to IT, it's fun in this side. Do not be intimidated by tech. There are myths that come with being a tech person. You need to have this hoodie. You need to be a genius. You need to know how to fix a radio. Nah, everyone in tech is not, yes, it's not Bill Gates, Ada Lovelace, Mark, or Tony Stark, or Snowden. We are just regular people who like to learn and build things. I think take a minute to assess the markets. We are living in the age of data, and knowledge is a valuable resource to everybody, to everyone who is in touch. And how we obtain this info and how effectively and efficiently will determine the extent of our success. Then cloud computing has emerged as the most important game changer. The concept of cloud computing has reshaped the way we use and share information. It has reset the boundaries, the physical way that we interact with technology every day. You can be at work and have your Alexa at home. You just dial in and tell Alexa to boil some water for you, and you get home and you have your coffee. Like everything is huge, and they have made it very simple, and everything is just a testament on how badly talent is needed. Companies and organizations are looking for people who are eager to learn, to bring the best out of themselves. I think finally, the more innovative, the more inclusive, the more diverse we make the world of tech, I think the more colorful and better it will be for all of us. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Chebet. That was quite interesting. Maybe you can share with us what is your experience working for a large corporation like Safaricom, and just give our participants an overview of what opportunities there are, because we are talking of the freelance opportunities, remote working in the cloud and micro work. But then there are also corporations within our midst that are all using cloud computing. I'm sure Vodacom and all these other organizations in Tanzania are also using cloud computing. So what would you say about applying your skills within the corporate world locally, and what opportunities are there?
Before I joined Safaricom, I was in a social impact company, which we were a small number of people, and now transitioning into this an extra large company was in the beginning, the imposter syndrome was coming in. You were feeling like, am I good enough? The people there were super smart, so you had to read, go extra miles to be the best you can be. And there are so many opportunities in terms of, if you're a networking person, you can always have a place. If you're a database, you can be a sysadmin, you can be a developer, and apparently developers are a large group of people that their skills are needed. So there are so many opportunities that you can tap into. We have a career section, and if you look up the Safaricom careers Taleo site, there are so many opportunities you can tap into. You doesn't matter if you come from what background, as long as you know your stuff, you know your skill, you can deliver, and you can run with it. Yeah.
Thank you, Chebet. I think it's quite interesting that what is coming up, the general thread from what Lucas has mentioned, from what Kimani has said, from what Maureen has said. Number one, building your profile is crucial to your success in the world of micro work, in the world of remote work. That's the only way a potential online employer or customer who wants to give you work will know that you are somebody they can trust. Lucas mentioned severally the use of LinkedIn. So you must have a LinkedIn profile, you must have it updated, get your references, and always build new networks using LinkedIn. Kimani has mentioned about how there are thousands of cloud computing jobs that are advertised on LinkedIn. So these social networks in the professional space are very, very important. You need to build trust with your clients. And the only way you get that really is through referrals. So if you do a good piece of work for a client, then they'll be able to refer you on LinkedIn. It's also very important to really do a lot of self-learning, as Maureen has mentioned. You really, really have to put in those hours to learn yourself what is happening in the world of micro work. Build your capacity, build your skills, get new skills. There's so much available online, which you can take advantage of, which is usually so many courses and skills, then you can be able to go to the platforms to be able to get these jobs. I see there are a couple of questions, and please, I would encourage you, please feel free to type your questions in the chat box so that we can address them as we go along. There's Mercy Mpangala, who has said that she enjoys the class and she would like to hear more about Upwork. Also asking if the session is recorded. Yes, it's being recorded. Lucas, I would like to bring you in to explain more about Upwork and what it is and how people can get onto that platform. What does one require to register onto Upwork, and how can they get their first jobs. We want them to leave this session and they get home, they can get registered and be able to start exploring if they can get 1 or 2 jobs. So Lucas Shemu, over to you.
Okay, thank you very much. Upwork basically is a freelancing platform whereby it connects clients and freelancers. Inakutanisha wanunua ujuzi na wauza ujuzi. What you need to, if you go to upwork.com, then you to put your information, and basically the beauty about Upwork, if you already have your LinkedIn profile, you know, in technology we call identity management. For example, today, if you you get a new device, you need to have a Gmail account as your online identity to be able to set up that device. In the same way, Upwork is linked with LinkedIn. So if you are already in LinkedIn, the professional network, then you can use your details, because what it needs to create your profile, you need to have an email address, you need to put your skills if you have, your work history, and any certification that you've done, such as AWS, which Stephen and Maureen have talked about. So kama una profile ya LinkedIn, which already you are in the professional environment, then you can use that as your ID online. It will fetch that information and boom, your profile is created. Lakini kama huna, you need to have an email address, and then it will ask you to put your education qualification or skills that you have. If you are working either as a freelancer, or you like previously you have worked for Safaricom or any other company, you'll put your work history. That's it. Another thing, if you have a CV, kama unayo CV yako tayari, because it keeps all these details, so it will give you a third option where you can just upload your CV, then it will populate your information and your profile will be created. Other than that, if you don't have all that, like I mentioned, there's an option of like linking with your Gmail account. And then the Gmail account, it will take your details, then it will ask some few details to put your profile. It's just like you are creating an online CV, I would say. So once that is created, the next step, it will be for you to and how can you optimize your profile? Basically, there are different jobs categories. Like I say, for example, content creation, creative design, like cloud computing such as AWS, or if you are into another platform like Azure or GCP, Google Cloud Platform. You will link now your online CV and the skills, kwa sababu ndio kwamba hii Upwork unauza ujuzi. You are not just putting your CV out there. So the next things, then you will create those profile which relates to what you can offer. So they've customized in such a way. If you select, let's say, wewe ni content creator, utachagua kama ni blogger, you create content on website, on social media. If you are a digital marketer, then are you creating accounts? Are you optimizing? Are you running different marketing? Are you doing marketing automation in these different platforms? Are you running different engagement on this social media platform? Kwa hiyo baada ya kutengeneza sasa hizo tunapozita ni profile, inakupa fursa kutengeneza profile mpaka 3. Unaweza kutengeneza general profile. Kwa mfano, wewe labda ni digital marketing, that is the skill that you can set. But pia in the course of being a digital marketer, lakini pia unaandika content, unaandika blog content, you write an article. For example, myself being being an experienced tech leader, I also write articles about technology, just sharing my experience around different areas in tech. So unaweza ukatengeneza profile nyingine kwamba wewe ni mwandishi, unaandika different category za uandishi. Sasa hizi profile automatically. Sasa once your profile is created, of course unaweza ukaweka kama una certification, una vyeti, just to give more weight to your profile. Na you can even put a video introduction kwamba hello, mimi ni Lucas, ni mwandishi, naandika makala mbalimbali za mambo ya teknolojia, hasa katika let's say financial technology, kwenye fintech. So hiyo inakuwezesha wewe kama tulivyosema, ni jukwaa la kukutanisha wauza ujuzi na wanaonunua ujuzi huo. Kwa hiyo wateja kwa kutumia kitu kinachoitwa artificial intelligence wanakuwa matched na freelancer mbalimbali. So baada ya hapo sasa utakuwa na uwezo wa kubrowse, tunasema kutafuta sasa kazi zenyewe. Ukibrowse, ukisema find work kwenye platform, nadhani wengi ukienda upwork.com mtaona, you can just navigate to this tool. Itakuwezesha ku search job, na pia itakuwa ina recommend kwa kutumia artificial intelligence thanks to technology kwamba wewe ni mwandishi bwana, kuna mteja huyu yuko Kenya anataka kuandika makala kuhusiana na mambo labda ya adoption ya M-Pesa in other East African countries, kitu kama hicho. Sasa wewe ukiona ile unaweza ukabid, you'll submit your proposal. Of course kuna freelancer wengi, you can find some other jobs zina competition, lakini kazi zingine hazina competition sana. Zile highly skilled specialized skills zile hazina competition sana. Kwa mfano AWS ina demand, naungana na bwana Kimani hapo kwamba if you are a cloud computing engineer specialized in let's say Amazon web services platform, ina demand kubwa sana, na ukiwa certified ina opportunity kubwa. You can find for example kazi kama ya kuandika, ya kufanya tafsiri let's say ya kutoka Kiswahili kwenda Kiingereza au Kiingereza kuja Kiswahili. Unaweza kukuta kwamba ndani ya lisali moja labda freelancer 20 wame apply. Sasa kwa kazi kama hizi specialized kama labda AWS na kazi zingine za ujuzi mbalimbali, zinakufanya kwamba unaweza kukuta hata masaa ndani ya masaa 24 only less than 5 freelancers wame apply. So you'll have that chance. Now of course ina profile yako pia na ujuzi na your proof of work from your past clients, whether with this platform au wale ambao umewaliki kwa kutumia LinkedIn, ambao wanaweza au hata akiwa na email address unaweza ukamrequest akakuandikia review ambayo itakusaidia kupata kazi. Kwa hiyo then it's easy to use, easy to create a profile as long as you have an email ID, or if you are like way ahead una LinkedIn profile, au hata una CV. I believe as a professional, whether you've gone to the college or you've not gone to the college, I'm sure in one way or the other you have some sort of a document, a soft document that can sell you as someone who has the skills to do something. Well, you can put your CV, then your profile is created. The rest is easy. Nowadays, you know, hata watu ambao they are not that much educated wanaweza kutumia mitandao. Somebody can create a profile on Facebook and create an account on Twitter. So is in a similar fashion. The only difference kwamba sasa unakuwa ni platform ya wewe kuweza kuuza ujuzi, na then you learn every other things because they are so easy, straightforward. It's just the most important thing is kwamba uwe na skills, na skill yenyewe sio uwe na ujuzi general, hapana. Just select a niche, eneo ambalo wewe utakuja kubobea, hata kama ni kitu kidogo tu. Kwa mfano wewe kazi yako tu kwenye macro jobs hizi, kwa mfano tulitoa kazi ya positive comments, makampuni kama Tigo yalikuwa anataka vijana ambao wanaelewa social media na wanaweza waka post positive comments based on the different products and post ambayo platform kama Tigo inafanya. Kwa hiyo unakuta kazi as macro as to that level. Na mmoja wa wanafunzi wetu pia aliweza kukava kulikuwa na nadhani insertion ya project ya AWS, aliweza kukava live kwenye Twitter ile tukio lote, na alifanya vizuri kweli. Kwa hiyo unakuta kazi instead of the young people who spend a lot of time just going around looking for gossip. It's good, of course. You have to look for follow some sports, whether local or abroad. You have to stay current with the latest news, but that alone can give you an opportunity if you take an effort to learn, specialize, and be the best in that. So you can be paid to as low as posting a comment, as low as participating in a survey, as low as review a document and translate it in Swahili, or the other way around in English. Kwa hiyo, I hope I've answered your question right.
Yeah, thank you, Lucas. That was quite detailed. We have another question from Abdul Ghaffar Mohammed, and I think this goes to Lucas as well. He wants to know, for the journalists, for example, sports journalists, how can this be helpful in selling their content internationally and getting advertisements? So Lucas, do you have any tips on freelance work for journalists?
Yes, I'm a writer myself. Okay, just to answer the question, you say, what is the name of it again? Nani ameuliza swali?
Abdul Ghaffar Mohammed.
Okay, mimi ni mwandishi. I'm not a writer by profession. Ni mtaalamu wa tehama ambaye na share knowledge yangu kupitia uandishi. Mimi sikuwa na knowledge ya uandishi, lakini nikajifunza jinsi ya kuandika, how to write a concise, on point article, and then nika-link with my experience. Sasa yeye ni sports journalist. Kwa mfano platform kama Upwork, once you have your profile created, then wewe umespecialize kwenye niche ya sports journalism, let's say football. We know in Africa wengi tunapenda football. Sasa kuna makala mbalimbali. Let's say ukienda hata unaweza ukaenda hata kwenye Google, kwa sasa hivi huna labda Upwork profile, unaweza uka search tu sports, let's say football journalism, or football journalism article, or football article writing at Upwork. Itakuletea fursa mbalimbali. Then from there you just start this freelancing platform, create a profile, then put all your details and qualification and skills. I'm sure kitu kingine tulisema cha msingi sana, that will sell you instantly, especially if your experience, such as Abdul Kadir, is proof of work. Kwa hiyo nadhani atakuwa ameandika makala mbalimbali, let's say The Citizen, Mwana Sports, I don't know which platform, au hata anaweza kawa na blog yake. Ile atakaziomba zile kazi, let's say mtu anataka uandike an article, let's say for example now East African country, in Tanzania, Tanzanian football has been so competitive, especially for the likes of Simba and Yanga, and it's pulling a lot of crowd, and of course with the performance of the likes of Simba in CAF competition, so most people are following it up. Let's say a magazine or an online blog in let's say in South Africa, they want to post, or they want somebody who will be covering about, let's say, Ligi Kuu ya Tanzania, of which our friend Abdul is an expert at. So you'll find those kind of jobs. Mitandao, let's say labda ya Socanet, goal.com, these global brands, they are also covered. They have that session of East African sports. Even the BBC, you can go into like a football page of BBC, you'll find a special page for Africa, football and other sports. Kwa hiyo utakuta such kind of article, instead of relying of a resource from like England or Europe to come down here and cover, then they will rely on you because it will be cheap, and then you'll be delivering the material instantly. So there's an opportunity for you. The platforms such as Upwork and other many platforms, you can create a profile, then you start browsing this niche and link with your experience. And I'm sure you'll be able, because what sells you instantly is skill, experience, and proof of work, which I believe our friend Abdul Kadir, if I got his name right, has all of this. Thank you.
Thank you. Then Ngetunyi has asked, Maureen and Kimani, can you mention which online resources and platforms are available for learning these skills affordably or even for free, where they can learn AWS and other tech skills?
If I can take that one, Perez. So I'm actually looking for that link so that I can post there where they can register for free, and then they can have free trainings, free sessions. I'm actually looking for that link right now so that I can post it. So just to have a nutshell, is that there are so many free courses, free online courses, especially for. Also to answer a question from Abdul Gafal Muhammad, where it says, apart from AWS, Alibaba, and Amazon, what do you think should be done in East and Central Africa for such kind of marketing sites and stuff? Okay, so let me start with the AWS. There are so many free courses, and actually, if you go to other courses like other cloud vendors like Microsoft, so there are so many free courses. I'll be happy to look for Microsoft, but for now, what I have in hand is for AWS, and I want to post that link here. You can first of all, you must create an account with AWS training and certification. I'm actually pasting it there on the link for everyone. You create an account with AWS certification. Once you create them, there will be something called AWS Skill Builder. Okay, so with the AWS Skill Builder, you'll be able now to add your free classes. Let me put it also there. All right, here we go. So the first step is to create an account with AWS training and certification. That's the first one. Then the second bit is to go through AWS Skill Builder. With the AWS Skill Builder, you'll be able to have free classes, free practical sessions on that platform. So it makes it, even if you don't have the hands-on, you'll be able to do various practices within AWS platform. And if I have time, I'll also try to go to and get the link that can send you or join you to, for example, if let's say, for example, and I remember when we are doing training in Tanga, is that how then do we get those classes online? Because or how do we tell that these classes will be held? There's a link that AWS provides that says this class will be free. You'll be at the location is here if you want to go attend or register so that you can attend. I hope I've answered your question on that.
Maybe I can add something.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So if you're a newbie in the cloud, there is a site called 100 Days of Cloud, where you're given different challenges. Could be very basic, but at the end of it, you're able to really understand the gist of how to deploy a task into the cloud environment. There are a number of course providers like Udemy, a cloud guru. So you have to, some of them you have to pay a fee, but it's worth. You can have, you can pay $20 and it's worth that amount. And at the end of that course, you get your certification, you're able to be credible to the organization that is going to take you in.
Thank you very much.
I've also
Go ahead.
share that link on the chat also.
Okay, great. That's quite interesting. Please, let's continue to have your questions. And as you think about what you'd like to ask, maybe I'll tell you a bit about what we are doing in Tanga. We are implementing a project to build the skills of youth in Tanga on cloud computing and basic digital skills, cloud computing, and we're also going to get into data annotation skills for the AI industry. This project has been funded by the Foundation Botna, and we started it in May, on 23rd May. We have trained about 150 youth so far in cloud computing and digital skills. In addition to that, I would like to mention that about 50 of these youth are persons with disabilities. Some are deaf, some have physical disabilities. We had Kimani and his colleague Nahashon, who has been doing the training. It has been quite an amazing experience, sharing these skills and also being a part of the whole ecosystem in Tanga around building digital skills. We are almost completing phase 1 of this particular project, and we are going to be matching some of the participants of the project with jobs. Some of the jobs will be directly working for AWS clients who are around the world. Other jobs are going to be with local corporations in Tanzania. And we're also even talking to some of the large telcos in Kenya to absorb some of this youth. We're looking forward to now going even deeper into this project, because we realize we need to have a longer term intervention in Tanga if we're to have sustainable and transformational change amongst youth in Tanga in terms of employability. So right now we're looking at a long-term intervention where we will even have our own facility in Tanga where we can be able to handhold and support the youth that we train, so that we take them through the entire life cycle of the AWS training. So we're not just coming in to train and then we leave. If we do that, then the chances of success are very, very small. But if we are in Tanga and we have our team there that is providing support, helping the youth when they get these jobs. I mean, you've seen a lot of questions about how do I build my profile? How do I get the customers? All that kind of thing needs quite a bit of support. So when we have our team in Tanga and we bring in work from AWS customers, then we can be able to provide that support to the people we're going to employ. We're going to be employing youth from this particular pool that we are training in Tanga. And we're looking at this as being a very, very long-term project that will last for several years. And this is really going to transform the employment ecosystem in Tanga. And once the youth are trained on cloud computing, then they start improving their skills, enhancing their skills, but at the same time working on real projects. So these projects, once they come into our facility, then the youth that we've trained in Tanga get employed in this facility, and then they start working on these projects, but then they will have support from our team that will be there on the ground. So instead of you fumbling, oh, I've got a project, I don't know what to do, I don't know how to handle the customer, then our team is there to really take you through the steps of how do you onboard this project, how do you deliver this project, how do you make sure there's quality, and then how do you improve your skills. You've started as a cloud practitioner, fine, you need to move on to associate level. after some months of doing this work. So how do you move on to that level? Then we provide you with the training to move on to the associate level, whether you're going to DevOps, whether you're going to SysOps, we provide you with that support and training. Then you're able to deliver more projects at a more advanced level to your clients around the world. Then from there, then you move on to the more advanced levels. So the idea is that by having this resource in Tanga, then you can really grow your skills to the most advanced levels. And the opportunities, as we said, are quite immense. So these are going to provide sustainable jobs. These are not jobs which you'll do today and then tomorrow hakuna kazi. There's quite a bit of work in this space, as Kimani has said. There are opportunities to become the instructors, certified instructors for AWS. I think in East Africa, Kimani, there are how many? Are there only 4?
Yeah, we are only 4.
Yeah, so you can imagine, in the entire East Africa, there are only 4 certified instructors for AWS. And if you get to that level as a certified instructor, you will be training people from all over the world whilst you're seated in Tanzania. You can handle classes in Spain, in Germany, in London, in the US, earning as much as $500 a day. The opportunities are really immense. It takes a lot of hard work to get to that level. And I would suggest if you're interested in this, then please reach out to Kimani. He will give you more details. If you're in Tanga, please get in touch with us so that we can loop you into our pool that is going to continue to receive this type of training. But it's really a huge opportunity, and I'm really glad to have Lucas here because then he has explained very well about how these platforms work. So if you have the added advantage of an AWS certification and you put it on those platforms, then you can also get this AWS remote work through Upwork and various other platforms. And it will really build your profile once you say you have the AWS certification, because that is huge brand recognition. A client in America may be looking for somebody to do any specific type of work, even if it is some simple type of job. But when he's looking through the list of 50 people who have applied for that job, and he sees that you have your AWS certification, that is a brand that he recognizes. It is a universal standard, it is a universal brand, then that automatically makes you so competitive and puts you at the top of the pile. So these are the things we're saying you must do. If once really building your profile and getting those recognitions and certifications, that is really what makes you competitive, and that will really enable you to get more and more projects. I'll take a couple more questions. This one, I'll throw it to Dr. Mushinda if he's still here. Daktari, are you here? Someone, Kastori Walima is asking, among all the cities in Tanzania, I think Mwanza is the most forgotten city in the digital transformation. I would like to submit my concern to the team, if you don't mind, to consider AWS training in Mwanza city. Thank you for your question, Kastori. The beauty with what we are doing in Tanga is that this is going to provide local resources for Tanzanians to be able to deliver AWS training across Tanzania. So then if we train you, if Kimani trains you and brings you up to instructor level, you can go and do training in Mwanza, in various other cities and towns in Tanzania. And that's why we are looking at this project as being very sustainable. We want to build the local capacity so that this then goes on and the local teams then are able to continue delivering this type of training. I'll just look for any other questions. Let's see. how can non-Tanga youth participate? Kimani, do you want to answer that?
So, so once we left Tanga towards the end of towards early July, so there was an online platform. I think it was circulated by the digital Swahili Digital, if I'm not wrong, where we requested for people to join in. Now, and this time around on virtual sessions. Surprisingly, we only ended up with 20. So many people could say, I want to join, but then in one or the other, they do not join. We only get 20. We only out of 100 and I think out of 91, we only got 20 who completed the course from day one, because it's basically, if I were to train you in the professional way or into the corporate world, I'll take only a single day. But since this is, I usually customize it to make sure everyone got hold of the best they can. I can give is I span it across 5 days. So 5 days is a long, so many days, right? Especially if you have if you're a breadwinner, you need to go and and do something. And actually, I'm answering another question here from Abdul Gafal Mohammed. So we have online sessions. Like I think from next week, if I'm not wrong, Paris will be having another session for solutions architect, if I'm not wrong. But then we also need to start now saying, so when you commit, saying I'll be there, because I've seen and this experience I'm getting from Tanga. We have physical classes in Tanga, as Press has mentioned, but then for those guys, and this we're coming from Dar es Salaam, to be specific, is how can we then integrate Dar es Salaam team to come to for the same? So we created a virtual class. I think we only right now the team would be probably sitting for the exam. I've not planned the date yet, but yes, we have virtual classes. And I think for the guy asking for AWS training in Mwanza City, that one I may not know about the physical classes, but then we have virtual classes. Now we have to, I think this is where now Lucas, Dr. Mushinda, Perez comes in and say, how can we then integrate now the other cities who are interested to join the class? And this will be virtual classes. For physical classes, if you have a friend in Tanga, you can spend 5 days or 10 days, to be specific, 10 days, you attend for the physical classes, because the physical classes are more interactive, and you tend to ask questions probably even late in the night, because the trainer is already there and can come early, have materials to look at and stuff like that. Yes.
Thank you, Kimani. Godfrey Mbukwa is asking, Lucas Shemu, do you have any plan to expand your training projects to other regions?
Thank you very much for that. That depends from our sponsors, Foundation Botna, but from the discussion that is going on currently, I think they are looking to expand it to more youth in Tanga, and possibly they will also look to expand it to other regions.
Thanks. And Lucas, maybe you can tell us a bit about what were the outcomes in terms of how many jobs have people gotten from your project? What types of jobs were they? What challenges did they face? And how did they overcome these challenges in the world of micro work and online work?
Thank you very much. I have the final report with me, so I'll read the most interesting part in responding to your question. Actually, around 149 youth registered. The target and the budget was to cover 8, so we selected 8. The ratio was 36-64. 36 36 male, 64 female. So there were many females than male. They all 100 attended the mindset change. 95 of 100 attended the freelancing course. Digital marketing, and of course 85 completed also a online business course. For us, we used for data collection, we use an Airtable, which is one of these software as a service tool to collect all the data and also to manage the projects. And going further, I hope I'm answering your question. The most common jobs from the first batch of training that we did prior to like advanced training over the Zoom were translation, graphics design, data entry. Data entry is common because you find most organizations, especially this in the public service domain, they have a lot of data in paper-based, and they want to also to digitize that. So there's a lot of opportunity even at a local administration level, and of course digital marketing, and also article writing, different topics, social media management, somebody who can manage social media. And the payments in this category ranged from as low as 30,000 to as much as somebody has done a job, was paid 500,000. Somebody has paid 7 million, and another one was paid. So I would say from 50,000, an average of 50,000 up to 300,000, and the total earnings were around 558. Okay, going further, let me go further and see the data. Some of the challenges, you asked also about the challenges. The challenges that we faced, especially the Zoom sessions, the in-person sessions were very successful because we were able to help them on site. We were able to help them to set, to create the profile successfully. If they are facing any challenge, we are able to help them that, okay, you don't have a bank account. Okay, tomorrow, make sure that you go and get your bank account. So we were able to solve all the issues. But the Zoom sessions, we had some challenge. One of the challenges is we call virtual sessions. The same session like this one, connectivity issues. Some students claimed not to have internet connection. And also, you know, loss of interest in the training, because now this is like you have to manage yourself. Okay, so some would, oh, I don't have internet, so maybe I cannot go. They start losing interest. But despite all that challenges, out of 100 who initially registered, 55 students were able to complete all session, all virtual sessions. And another thing you also mentioned, the total number of jobs created. I think that was also one of the questions. The total number of created Job Tanzania and Swahili Digitals as part of like we created over 46 micro jobs. This which include also, I did not mention, positive comments that you can go into different social media platform of like a corporate organization and be able to curate or post positive comments about an ad or a campaign they are running. And other jobs, total jobs in total that were created were 76, which includes around 30 jobs these people managed to get through Upwork. And we ran some survey, like for example, we asked them, ufundishaji wa mwalimu ulikuwaje, how the training was delivered by different trainers and facilitator. 92.6 said it was very good, and 7.4 was saying it was okay. And also the quality of materials and different platforms that these people were exposed and trained on, 8.9 were say that it was a very good material that was relevant to the training scope. Of course, I will read some two comments from them. We asked them, kitu gani kipya umejifunza na umekipenda kwenye kozi hii? What new skill have you learned and you have shown, or it has interested you more? Someone says benefits of social media platforms and how I can use such to market my business and also to be able to grow other brands. Mwingine alisema namna nzuri ya kutumia mtandao kwa ajili ya kuniingizia kipato. That mindset, this was like a core theme in our mindset change, that how to like use and leverage the same social media or the internet at large, and how you can use that to earn something. I hope I've answered the question.
Yes, thank you very much. That was very, very good. And we have come to the end of our session today. I really want to thank the panelists, Steve Kimani, Maureen Chebet, and Lucas Shemu. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for sharing your journeys and your stories. I'm sure this has been very, very useful to the participants. We also want to thank Diana and Digital Opportunity Trust for giving us this opportunity to share our work, as well as Dr. Mshinda. Thank you so much. Please feel free to reach out. I think you can get our contacts through DOT. We'd be happy to be able to help wherever we can. Thank you very, very much. So I will hand over to DOT Tanzania.
Hi, thank you so much, our panelists, for the wonderful session. Thank you, Lucas. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you, Perez. Thank you, Maureen. It was really wonderful to hear you guys share these opportunities of microwork for the youth. So I hope everyone will be able to take advantage of these few tips. But also, yes, we'll definitely be keen to share your details and also your social media handles and emails for those to all of these guys who want to connect with after this. And yes, the recording will be available for everyone who signed up to attend this session. And so we share it with everyone so that it can spread further and reach more people. Yes, we're at the top of the hour, and I think we've utilized our time very well. So I want to say again, heartwarming thanks to all of you, and Dr. Hassan Mshinda also for being here. And yeah, we would like to say you have a wonderful day and wish you a great evening. Right.